Chapter 1 The 91-Story Treehouse. Hi, my name is Andy.
This is my friend Terry.
We live in a tree.
Well, when I say tree, I mean treehouse. And when I say treehouse, I don't just mean any old treehouse. I mean a 91-story treehouse. It used to be a 78-story treehouse, but we've added another 13 stories.
So, what are you waiting for? Come on up.
It's got a cat with a 14-teller called Madam Know-It-All.
A submarine sandwich shop that serves sandwiches the size of actual submarines.
The world's most powerful whirlpool.
A mashed potato and gravy train.
A spin and win prize wheel.
A trophy room.
A human pinball machine. An air traffic control tower.
A 91-story house of cards.
A giant spider web with a giant spider.
A desert island.
A garbage dump with a mystery or wardrobe on top.
And a big red button which we're not sure whether to push or not because we can't remember what it does.
As well as being our home, the treehouse is also where we make books together. I write the words and Terry draws the picture.
As you can see, we've been doing this for quite a while now.
Sure, it's easy to get distracted when you live in a 91-story treehouse. But somehow we always get our written in the end.
Chapter 2 Madam Know-It-All. If you're like most of our readers, you're probably wondering what that big red button is for.
Yeah, I've been wondering about that too, says Terry. What does it do, Andy? I can't remember. I don't know, I say. I can't remember either. Then let's push it and find out, says Terry. No, I say. For all we know, it might be one of those buttons that blows up the whole world. But then again, says Terry, it might be one of those buttons that makes a rainbow come out of your nose.
Well, yes, maybe, I say. But do you really think it's worth the risk of blowing up the whole world just to see if a rainbow comes out of your nose? Says Terry. Let me think about that for a moment. Yes, says Terry. No, I say, that's the wrong answer. Whatever you do, do not push that button. But no, but I really want to know what it does, says Terry. Please let me push the button. Please, 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 please.
No, I say, I've got a better idea. We'll go when asked, Madam Know-it-all, what will happen if we push the button? She'll know. Who's Madam Know-it-all? Says Terry. You know, I say, the fortune teller. Of course, says Terry. I knew that. At least I thought I did. What did you say her name was again? Don't worry about it, I say. Just follow me. We begin the long climb up and then down to Madame Know-it-all's level. We finally reach Madame Know-it-all's tent and go inside. It's dark and kind of spooky. Madame Know-it-all is sitting at a small round table, gazing into her large crystal ball. Greetings, she says, without looking up. I've been expecting you. You have, says Terry. Of course, says Madame Know-it-all. I knew you were coming, and I know why you're here. I know all there is to know past, present, and future.
If you already know why we're here, I say, then can you tell us the answer to our question? Of course I can, she says. I'm Madam Know-it-all. I can tell you the answer to every question. I know all there is to know, past, present, and we know, I say. I know you know, says Madam Know-it-all. We know, you know, we know, I say. So can you just tell us? Yes, says Madam Know-it-all, but not until you ask me your question.
But you already know that our question is, I say. I know, she says, but that's just how this thing works. You ask a question, I tell you the answer in a cryptic rhyme. Okay, I say. What we want to know is, what will happen if we push the big red button? Madame Know-it-all peers into her crystal ball and says, it's very large and very red. All who see it are filled with dread.
Madame Know-it-all jerks her head back and gasps. What is it? I say. What did you see? I saw a big explosion, she says, and then doom, more doom, and then even more doom, and then nothing.
Yes, just as I thought, I say. Thanks, Madame Know-it-all. We'll see you soon, sooner than you think, she replies, as Terry and I step out of the tent into the daylight. Well, I say, now we know for sure pushing the big red button will definitely blow up the whole world. I guess so, says Terry. So does that mean we shouldn't push it?
Yes, I say. I mean, no. We absolutely should not push that button. But why would we have made such a dangerous button in the first place? Says Terry. I don't know, I said. I don't know, I say. I can't remember. Me neither, says Terry. Anyway, now that we've answered the reader's question, does that mean it's the end of the book? I guess so, I say, but we are only up to page 39, says Terry. It seems a bit short.
Maybe we can see if the readers have any other questions they'd like answered. answered. I say, good idea, says Terry. I'll ask them. Hey readers, do you have any other questions you would like answered? I couldn't understand them, says Terry. They were all talking at the same time. They weren't talking, I say. They were shouting. I don't know what they want to know. Says Terry. I suppose if I were the reader, what I would most want to know is what's going to happen in this book. Me too, I say. If only there were a way of finding out, says Terry. There is, I say. We can ask Madame Know-it-all.
We go back inside the tent. I knew you would be back, says Madame Know-it-all. You have another question, don't you? Yes, we do, says Terry. Can you tell us the answer? Of course I can, she says. I am Madame Know-it-all. I know you already know how much I know, but before I can tell you what you want to know, you must ask me the question.
제 1화를 재밌게 보셨으면 제 2화도 재밌게 보셨으면 좋겠습니다. Can you tell us what's going to happen in this book? I say, Madame Know-it-all gazes into her crystal ball. Where once was two, there shall soon be a few. You have an important job to do. A very busy man is counting on you. If you let him down, this day you will rue. I look at Terry. Terry looks at me. I don't get it, says Terry. Me neither, I say. But it's perfectly clear, says Madame Know-it-all.
Can you just tell me? I say. Madame Know-it-all sighs. I can't just come out and tell you, she says. That's not the fortune-telling way. But I can give you a hint. It rhymes with spabby-zitting. Is it Frabby hitting? Says Terry. No, says Madame Know-it-all. Is it shabby knitting? I say. No, of course not, says Madame Know-it-all. There's no such thing as shabby knitting.
What about babysitting? Says Terry. Correct, says Madame Know-it-all. Babysitting? I say, but we don't have any babies.
That's right, says Terry. How are we going to be babysitters if we don't have any babies? You don't have any yet, says Madame Know-it-all, but you soon will. Now go and answer the video phone. You have a caller. No, we don't, I say. The phone isn't even ringing.
Ring, 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 ring. Wow, says Terry. You really do know everything I know, says Terry. Says Madame Know-it-all.
Chapter 3. Little Big Noses. We answer the video phone. It's Mr. Big Nose, our publisher.
What took you so long? He barks. I'm a busy man, you know. I know, I say. Sorry, are you calling out a book? No, he says, I'm actually calling about some babysitting. Terry looks at me. I look at Terry. Madam Know-it-all was right again.
I need you to look after my grandchildren, says Mr. Big Nose. They are staying with Mrs. Big Nose and me, but we have tickets to the opera tonight. Il Bingosio di Explodio. Is that the story about the guy whose nose gets longer every time he tells a lie? Says Terry. I love that one.
No, says Mr. Big Nose. That's Pinocchio. That's a silly children's story. I'm talking about opera, serious opera. Your big no seal do explodio speaks of matters far above your heads. Our truth beauty exploding noses. In fact, it starts with the most explosive
Ready.
radic area of all time. Here, I'll sing it for you.
Oh, my big nosio. The closer get you.
This is fun thing.
The bigger it grows you, then it boom crash. Explosio.
Oh, bravo, says Terry. That was so magnifico. Stipendio. Thank you, says Mr. Big Nose, taking a big bow. Taking a big bow.
About the babysitting, Mr. Big Nose, I say, I'm not sure that's such a good idea. I mean, Terry and I are not really qualified. Don't be ridiculous, says Mr. Big Nose. You've both worked in a monkey house, haven't you? You're probably overqualified, if anything.
Yeah, says Terry. Come on, it will be fun. Besides, what could possibly go wrong? I say. Let's ask the readers. Okay, says Terry. Hey, readers, can you see any reasons why our treehouse wouldn't be suitable for Mr. Big Nose's grandchildren? Oh my gosh, there's so many things.
Yeah, that's right.
What did they say? Says Terry. No idea, I say. They were all shouting at the same time again. They said it would be fine, says Mr. Big Nose, and more importantly, so do I. Here are the twins, Albert and Alice.
And here's the baby. Catch.
Got it, says Terry, holding the baby in his arms. Just as well, oh, says Mr. Big Nose, and you'd better take really good care of it. And the twins, because Mr. Big Nose is very fond of her grandchildren. I want them back in my office, safe and sound by lunchtime tomorrow, along with your new book. Bye-bye. Pop, say Alice and Albert. Goo goo gaga, says the baby. The screen goes blank.
Albert looks around, his eyes wide. I've always wanted to visit your treehouse, he says. I've read every book. Me too, says Alice. I've always wanted to fight the Trunkinator. I'm going to do it right now. And I'm going to go into the maze of doom, says Albert. Me too, says Alice. And for lunch, let's have a swim in the chocolate waterfall.
I'm not sure we'll have time to do all that, I say. Terry and I have a book to write. You heard what your grandpa said. We know you've got a book to write, says Alice. But you can keep working while we play. We're old enough to look after ourselves now. I just turned 6, me too, says Albert. And we'll be careful, we promise. Gaga, says the baby.
I turn to Terry. What do you think? I say. Well, says Terry, they are 6 years old and they have promised to be careful. Yeah, I say, and we do have a book to write, so I suppose it's okay. Yay, says Albert, grabbing the baby from Terry. This is going to be the best day ever, says Alice as they run off.
Great, I say. Now that the kids are occupied, we can write our book. I don't know what I was so worried about. Babysitting is easy. Yeah, says Terry. It's easier than writing a book. Speaking of which, what are we going to write about? Should we ask the readers? Nah, I say. They're a bit shouty. No offense.
No offense.
No offense, readers. But you are. Here comes Jill, says Terry. We can ask her. Ask me what? Says Jill. Any ideas for what we should write about in our next books? Well, she says, what's happened so far today?
Nothing much, really, I say. We went to see Madam Know-It-All to find out what our big red button does. Then Mr. Big Nose rang up and sang us a song about a man with an exploding nose. And then he said we had to babysit his grandchildren. Really? Says Jill. He wants you to babysit? Yeah, he and Mrs. Big Nose had to go to the opera, says Terry. When are the children coming? Says Jill.
Children.
They're here already, I say. They went off to play.
children입니다. 당신 다 알죠? By themselves? Says Jill. No, they were all together, says Terry. How many are there? Says Jill. 3, I say. Alice and Albert and the baby. Baby, says Jill. Shouldn't you be looking after them? We can't watch them every minute of the day, I say. We've got to finish our book, and Mr. Big Nose will be angry if we don't get it done.
I think he'll be even angrier if anything happens to his grandchildren, says Jill. But they promised to be careful, says Terry. It doesn't matter how careful they are, says Jill. They could still have an accident. What if they fall out of the tree? That would be bad, I said.
Or even worse, Jill continues. What if they fall into the shark tank? That would be really bad, says Terry, looking worried, because the sharks haven't had breakfast yet. But the twins said they were old enough to look after themselves, I say. They just turned 6. 6? Says Jill. That is way too young to be looking after themselves and a baby. We need to find them and make sure they're safe. Let's go.
We hurried to the chocolate waterfall. We can't see the kids, but it's pretty obvious they were here. There are little chocolate footprints everywhere. We followed the trail of footprints to what used to be the 91-story house of cards, but there's no house and no kids.
We kept looking. We find the baby's booty on the chainsaw juggling level. Fortunately, it's empty. We go to the ice cream parlor, but all we find is the very upset Edward Scooper hands.
They ate it all, he says, waving his empty scoops in the air. Even the invisible ice cream. Did you see where they went? Says Jill. That way, he says, scooping towards the Trunkinator's level.
We rushed to the Trunkinator's boxing ring. But there are no kids, just the Trunkinator lying flat on his back. Wow, says Terry, they must have knocked out the Trunkinator. Poor Trunky, says Joe. But where are the children now? I don't know, I say. I think we should ask Madame Know-it-all. She will know.
We climb the ladder up to her tent as fast as we can. Madame Know-it-all is hunched over her crystal ball. I knew you were coming, she says. What is your question? Do you know where Mr. Big Nose grandchildren are? Says Terry. Of course I know, she says. I know all and see all. So where are they? I say. Madame Know-it-all stares into her crystal ball.
Round and round and round it goes. Where it ends, nobody knows.
Except for me.
Except for me. Of course, because I know everything. We all look at each other and
Shrug.
Can you give us a clue like you did last time, please? Says Terry. We're in kind of a hurry.
I know, sighs Madame Know-it-all. All right, here's a clue. Girls' school. They've gone to girls' school, says Terry. But Albert's a boy and the baby is too young to be at school. No, you fool, says Madame Know-it-all. Where they are rhymes with girls' school. Small school? I say. No, says Madame Know-it-all. There's no such thing.
It is Whirlpool, says Jill. Yes, says Madame Know-it-all. I knew you would get it. Do you mean our Whirlpool? Says Terry. Yes, says Madame Know-it-all.
But our whirlpool is the most powerful whirlpool in the whole world. I say, it's totally unsuitable for children. I know, says Madame Know-it-all.
Uh-oh, I say, come on, says Jill. There's no time to lose. We've got to get there before they fall in. Too late for that, says Madame Know-it-all.
Okay, let's
They
end this.
already have 아빠.
Okay, say bye-bye.
거의 100페이지야.
No, say bye.
아빠 거의 100페이지야.
It's too late.
아빠 100페이지 별로 안 남았어.
Okay.
100페이지가 별로 안 남았어.
응.
이렇게밖에 안 남았어. 알지 않아?
Okay.
슈트.
Chapter 4, Rolling and Sinking. We arrive at the whirlpool and discover that Madame Know-it-all was right again. Mr. Big Nose's grandchildren are whirling around and around and around, getting closer and closer to the center with whirl.
Oh my goodness, says Joe. Those children are in terrible danger. How do you stop this thing? You can't, says Terry. It's the world's most powerful whirlpool. Nothing
Whirlpool.
can stop it.
Whirlpool. Whirlpool.
Whirlpool.
Look at us, calls Alice. We're in the whirlpool. I can see that, I say, but it's time to get out. It's time to get out now. Why, says Albert. The ride isn't finished yet. It's not a ride, I say. It's actually a really dangerous whirlpool.
We've got to get them out before they get sucked into the middle, says Jill. We'll have to pull them out, I say. We get as close to the edge of the whirlpool as we dare and lean out to grab them. You can't catch us, calls Alice as they whirl past, laughing and squalling.
We'll see about that, I say. Terry, hold on to me so I can lean out further. Okay, says Terry. He picks me up by my legs and holds me out over the whirlpool.
아빠 그 다음에 리딩 게이트 한거 같아. 아직 안 했는데.
아,
까먹었어. I grab. 잠시만요.